Picture yourself waking up tomorrow morning, walking outside and taking a breath. It fills your lungs without a second thought. You don't think about the oxygen. You don't think about the temperature or the ground beneath your feet or the sky staying exactly where it should. You just breathe and you live. Now imagine that same morning, but 4.5 billion years ago. You step outside, you take a breath, and you die within seconds. Not because something goes wrong, because everything about that world is wrong for you. There is no oxygen to breathe. There is no solid ground you'd recognize. There is barely a sky. If you lived when Earth was born, you wouldn't last a single morning. You wouldn't last a single minute. So what if humans actually lived 4.5 billion years ago? Let's find out exactly how fast and exactly how completely this planet would kill you. Start with the ground itself, because there mostly isn't any yet. When Earth first formed, it wasn't a planet in any sense you'd recognize. It was a molten ball, a churning ocean of liquid rock, glowing orange and red across its entire surface. Geologists call this period the Hadean Eon, named after Hades, the underworld, because that's essentially what early Earth resembled. A world on fire, everywhere, all the time. There was no continent to stand on, no beach, no mountain, no patch of stable dirt. Just an endless shifting sea of molten stone, hot enough to melt the very idea of a footprint before you could leave one. Even after the surface began to cool and a thin crust formed, you wouldn't have found relief. That crust was constantly being punctured, melted, and reshaped by relentless volcanic activity and a bombardment of asteroids and comets that never seemed to stop. Researchers studying ancient zircon crystals, some of the oldest minerals ever found on Earth, have used them to reconstruct what conditions were like in this earliest era. Geochemist John Valley, who has spent decades analyzing these zircons, found evidence suggesting liquid water may have existed far earlier than once assumed, even amid all that violence. But early and survivable are very different things. Water existing somewhere is not the same as a place existing where you could stand. Here's where it gets stranger. Even if you found a patch of solid ground to stand on, the sky above you would offer no protection at all. Today, you live under a thin, invisible shield you never think about. The ozone layer, quietly absorbing the sun's most dangerous ultraviolet radiation before it reaches your skin. Go back 4.5 billion years, and that shield doesn't exist yet. There's no oxygen in the atmosphere to form it. The sun's radiation would hit the surface unfiltered, cooking anything exposed to it in a way modern sunlight simply doesn't. And the air itself wouldn't help you either. Early Earth's atmosphere was mostly carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and volcanic gases like sulfur dioxide and methane. Breathe that in, and it wouldn't just fail to sustain you, it would poison you almost immediately. Your lungs, built by millions of years of evolution to process a very specific oxygen-rich mixture, would find nothing on ancient Earth that resembled breathable air. You'd die of suffocation before the heat, the radiation, or the volcanic gases even finish the job. Now think about something even more basic. Gravity, temperature, day length, all the invisible background conditions your body has never had to question were different too. Earth's rotation was faster back then. A day may have lasted only a handful of hours instead of 24. The moon, formed from a colossal collision with a Mars-sized object early in Earth's history, orbited much closer, and its gravitational pull would have created tides so extreme they'd have made ocean coastlines, if they existed at all, unrecognizable. None of this is exaggeration for effect. This is simply what the evidence shows. So if you dropped a human being into that world, with no protection and no technology, survival wouldn't be measured in years, or months, or even hours. It would be measured in seconds. The heat alone would likely kill you before the toxic air finished the job, and the radiation would be doing damage the entire time. This is where the story takes its counterintuitive turn, because life did eventually show up in this hostile, half-formed world, and not long after Earth cooled enough to allow it. Some of the oldest evidence for life on Earth, found in ancient rock formations studied by paleobiologist J. William Schopf and others, suggests simple microbial life may have existed within the planet's first billion years, An almost unbelievably short window, given how violent that era was. Whatever showed up first wasn't anything close to human. It was single-celled, microscopic, built to survive in conditions that would obliterate you instantly. These early organisms didn't need oxygen. Many of them thrived without it. Draw.